everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So on today's video we are going to be looking at some random pickups that I've got, but to call them random is probably an apt description because we have got such a wide mix. We've got retro, we've got modern, we've got consoles, we've got just so much. So let's dive straight in, and we're going to start off with some bits that I've picked up from Dan. So the first bit that we've got is something that he actually found when I was visiting him one time, and I just asked him to pick it up, said that I'd have it straight off him, and then essentially he's given it to me for what he paid for it, so that was good. And then some other bits are bits that I got off him. He basically gave me a call, said that he had some bits, and yeah, went over and picked them up. So the first thing that we've got is an NES. Now I'm going to read this off the screen. So it's the Nintendo NES Video Game Center storage case, and this is actually the black version, and the black version apparently is slightly rarer. I think there's another version which is, if I remember right, it's sort of like the NES colours. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. So yeah, he sort of pulled this up on Facebook. Someone was selling it that he knew, and yeah, he wanted 20 quid for it. And I was like, yeah, I'll have that off you all day long. It is, I've seen them about, and yeah, I mean, I'll put it down for a minute. I'd seen them about and just thought it would be an absolutely amazing addition to the collection. Didn't actually realise how amazing because when I got it home, I'd done a bit more research on it, and that's when I found out that the all black version is slightly rarer and actually worth a bit more money. So the black version going on eBay, they go for about £75. So yeah, really chuffed with that. That is a amazing addition to the collection. It's one of these rare things that a lot of collectors want to get hold of, but very rarely get the chance. And for £20, yeah, that was definitely a no-brainer for me to add that to the collection. Then next up, we're moving on to the bits that Dan actually called me up about. And basically he called me up, said that he had a bundle of SNES and N64 games. So immediately I was like, yeah, I'm in, let's go. And he once again gave me a really good price on all these. But I'll go through the price at the end. But the first one that we've got is a SNES game, and it's actually complete in box, and that is PGA Tour Golf. Now, when I was capturing the footage for this, it is literally the golf game, the retro golf game that I always think of, where you've basically got the bar at the bottom of the screen, you feel the bar, press the button, and when it goes back down, you press it again to make the shot. That is the sort of retro golf game that I've always enjoyed playing. And yeah, this one, really enjoyed it. Actually thought it was quite advanced as well. So when you first go onto a hole, you get a couple of screens with sort of the commentators, but as after that, then actually does a panning shot of the whole course, which I thought for the Super Nintendo was actually really impressive. So yeah, I think all in all, a really good game. The box is a bit tatty, a bit damaged, but once again, it is in the box, which for me is a big selling point. Couldn't find it listed at CEX, but on eBay, complete in box, goes for about £25. So yeah, really happy with that. Then the remaining games that I got off him were all cart only, and the first one that we've got is FIFA Soccer 96 on the Super Nintendo, and this is one of the early FIFA games that started to transition more into the sort of viewpoints that we expect now, where it's more of a sort of side-on, sort of top-down, sort of isometric sort of view, where you're essentially the camera's along the sideline of the pitch is probably the best way to describe it. And yeah, this is one of the sort of the early games that made the move into the sort of viewpoints that we get now on the FIFA games. I really enjoyed this game. This sort of generation of FIFA I've always thought was really good. The one thing I always find that I struggle with when I'm playing the older games now is regards to tackling. So I always think that there's a button for tackling, but there isn't. On these older games, essentially, if you run into an opponent player most of the time, it will basically tackle them. Apart from if we play, I can't remember what the game was that we were playing last week, Kickoff. That was it. Unless you're in the kickoff games where it will just foul the player. But yeah, as I say, FIFA has always been a benchmark for football games, and they definitely started off on the right foot back on the 16-bit consoles. So for FIFA, cart only, that goes for about £6 on eBay. So yeah, not too shabby there. Then next up we've got Olympic Summer Games. Now, when I was capturing the footage for this, I went through, I basically started a championship, went through and literally lost or got disqualified from everything that I played through. It's a very difficult game to play if you don't have the instructions, because there's no tutorial, no nothing. Obviously back in the day these sort of games were brought out, you didn't have tutorials, and yeah, it took me a bit of a while to work out. Obviously a lot of these older sort of Olympic type games, it was always button mashing, it was alternate button mashing. So I think with this one it was sort of A and B, you had to alternate them, and that is how you basically progressed. Even then, I still couldn't win anything. So yeah, probably not going to be top of my list for playing in the future. But that one goes for £6 as well on eBay. Once again, not listed at CEX. I've not actually got, I think we've only got two SNES games that are actually at CEX. And no, have we got? No, we've got one SNES game, sorry, at CEX. So next one that we've got is a double. We did actually get this recently. I think it might have been in last week's video when we were at Chelmsford Boot Fair, and that was FIFA Soccer. So this was one of the very early ones. Once again, it wasn't a bad game, but it was in with a bundle, so I wasn't going to attempt to try and break up the bundle just to take out one game that I didn't want. And then the next game is the last SNES game, but it probably is, out of all of the games, the one that I really wanted for the collection. And originally I've been looking for it as a complete in box, but it was in with this collection, so I was more than happy to pick it up. And that is Street Racer. So this is a Mario Kart clone, where you've got a range of different characters. The real difference with this is, instead of picking up power-ups to sort of throw at your other people on the track, you actually punch. So it's a bit like the Chuck Rock karting game. I can't remember what it's called. Whereas you basically sort of punch out to sort of either side of the kart and basically take on your opponents that way. It was a really good karting game. As I say, it's been one that I've been looking to add to the collection for a while, and I am definitely going to either track down a complete in-box version or try and get box and manual so that I can make this one complete. So for Street Racers, that goes for £4 at CEX, £7 on eBay. That's cart only. Then next up we move on to some N64 games. And the first one that we've got is one that I've already got in the collection, and that is Lilac Wars. So this is the PAL version of Star Fox. And yeah, absolutely brilliant game. I love this. It's one of the earlier N64 games that I used to play around my friend's house. Yeah, absolutely love it. It's still a game that I play quite semi-regularly, actually. And I've recently gone through and I've actually captured a full gameplay from start to finish. Then next up we've got another, oh sorry, actually before we move on, Lilac Wars goes for £4 at CEX, £10 on eBay. Then the next one is also another double. That is International Superstar Soccer 64. Now this one is a bit problematic because it doesn't sell for too much. It only sells for £5 on eBay. But I think in the condition it is in, I probably wouldn't have sold it anyway. Because what I do is whenever I get kart games, I will always open them up, give them a thorough cleaning, and then once I've done that, then put them in the console. With this one, the internal shielding was really badly rusted. At one point I thought that I wasn't actually going to get the kart working, but after a good clean it did work. But yeah, the inside was really rusted, so that's probably just going to be one that I'll sort of have kicking about, maybe as a test kart or something like that. Then next up, the last two N64 games that we've got are both new additions to the collection. So we've got Knockout Kings 2000, which I will admit I actually really enjoyed playing, even if the guy that I was boxing against was a complete cheat. Because he would periodically get a sort of boost, which would essentially sort of one punch knock me down. And yeah, I was a bit like, it's a bit of a cheat because I was absolutely pummeling him. But it is what it is. It's not a game that I've played before. Obviously, I've played the Knockout Kings games on predominantly the PlayStation, but I never played the N64 version. That goes for £8 at CEX, £10 on eBay. And then the last game that we've got is another game that I used to play extensively with my friend who had an N64 when we were younger, and that is FIFA 64. So I think it was this one and the Road to World Cup. It might have been, I can't remember. I think we've got it. We've got the other FIFA game that I'm thinking of. But yeah, this was one that we used to play regularly. I'll be honest, once again, it's been so long since I've played it that I was absolutely atrocious at it. I think for the footage that you're seeing, I played as Brazil against, I can't even remember who I was playing against, but I know at one point I think I was like 3-0 down. But yeah, as I say, it is still a good FIFA game. That one goes for £2 at CEX, £5 on eBay. Actually, the next bit I've got is just behind the camera, so give me 2 seconds. Let me grab that before we carry on. Okay, so I've got the other bit, and it was a box. And that is the box for Spyro Fusion on the Game Boy Advanced. So this was in with a lot of the stuff that Dan had picked up from the retro gaming shop. That was the big pickup. I've done 2 pickups for that. I'll stick a link to that video just up in the corner. See if you haven't seen that. That was my biggest ever gaming pickup. And yeah, he had a couple of bits left over from that, and the rest of the bits that I picked up from him are sort of remnants of that. So we've got the box for Spyro Fusion. Now the reason that I picked that up is because I already have the cart for it. This was a boot fair pickup. I believe it was from the Sunday boot fair. And yeah, I saw that there, thought brilliant. I got another game that I can put in a box. The only thing I'll have to do is obviously track down a manual. So yeah, really chuffed with that. To be honest, the rest of the stuff that I picked up, bar the very last thing, Dan didn't charge me for. So yeah, this is all free additions that he chucked in. And yeah, so really chuffed to finally have the box of Spyro Fusion. Then next up, we've got a whole stack of sort of manuals and inserts and posters and everything like that. So we've managed to get the Playing with Power poster that comes in with the NES console. I couldn't remember at the time when I picked it up whether I had one in the box that I've got. That one normally sells for about £5 on eBay. Then we've got I'm going to open this one up. So this is a free demo disc leaflet that come with the original PlayStation. I've just dropped a bit out. So basically what you could do is when you got your PlayStation console, you can actually send off and they would send you a demo disc. So I believe, where is it? I believe it's that one that they used to send you. It was demo disc 1. Looking at the picture, might not have been, I don't know, but but yeah, I think it was that one that they used to send you out. So yeah, that I picked that up because that was a bit of a rare one. And then look, it's even got the little insert that goes inside it as well. That leaflet itself goes for £18 on eBay, so that is a really good find. Then we've got the Mario is Missing instruction booklet. I was actually that close. I just missed out on an auction to pick up the game in the box. Didn't have the manual, so that was the actual reason that I picked that one up. But as I say, I just missed out on that auction. Mario is Missing goes for £10. Then we've got PGA Tour Golf 2 on the Mega Drive. Now I think I've checked, and I actually do have the manual for that. Where is it? PGA Tour Golf 2. No, I don't have the manual. So there we go. That now makes that complete. So really, really chuffed with that. As I say, I thought I checked it and I already had the manual. So there we go, my PGA Tour Golf 2 on the Mega Drive is now complete. The manual for that normally goes for about £2.50 on eBay. And then the last couple that we've got Pitfall 2 on the 2600. And then we've got a Legend of Zelda Oracle sort of promotional poster or leaflet, whatever you want to call it. That I just got because it was something different. The Pitfall manual and the Zelda leaflet, couldn't find them anywhere on eBay, so I don't have comparative prices for them. And I'm just looking at the time. This bit has taken up quite a lot of time. So I'm going to rattle through the next bits quite quickly. So the other bits that I got 2 Master System AV converters off Dan. These are the original Sega ones. They go for £10 each on eBay. I then got 2 Mega Drive 2 ones as well. So one of these will be going into my boxed Mega Drive 2 because I don't think I currently have an AV cable for them. Those ones go for £10 each as well. Then I got a Sega Saturn AV converter as well. This one's actually got a little Sega Saturn logo on it. That one goes for £15. And once again, that will go in with my Sega Saturn Mark II, which I do have a box for. Then some of this is something that Dan chucked in, which I wasn't really that bothered about until I got home and realised. So this is the Total Control PSX compatible controller adapter for the Dreamcast. So what it is you plug this into the Dreamcast, and then you can plug in a PlayStation controller into this and basically use it to play Dreamcast games. I didn't know anything like this even existed, but when I come home I looked it up for the video and I could not get over how much it was worth. So once again, it was something that Dan chucked in, but looking them up on eBay, they sell for about £100. Yeah, just absolutely mind-blowing. The only thing I don't have with it is the AC adapter, but it's a pretty common one, so I should be able to find one to go with it. And then the very last thing that I picked up from Dan was another console, and that is another Intellivision. So he had a couple of these, and when I actually went round to him, I hadn't actually had a chance to test the one from the big bundle pickup. So what I said to him is, "Do you know what? I'll have another one off you, just in case there's anything wrong with that one, and then potentially from the 2 I can make one that works." But they both worked absolutely sweet as a nut. Really, really chuffed. And yeah, I actually managed to play one of the games. I think it was Ice Trek. On both of them. So that one, paid £30 for that, and they go for about £100 on eBay. Right, so moving on, we get on to our first other pickups. And the first pickup that we've got is a couple of games that I picked up from PlayAsia. Now, originally, these games were actually ordered at the beginning of January, and they didn't arrive until the 29th of February. Now, the reason they were delayed was because the first game that I'm going to show you it was actually out of stock. So I was actually lucky enough to be able to order it and just wait for it to come into stock. So I was quite happy to wait because this was one of the games that I wanted to add in. And that is Dead or Alive 3 Extreme Scarlet Edition. So we've currently got the, where is it? So we've got the Fortune Edition on the PS4, sorry. But a lot of people have said online that the Scarlet Edition was the best one to get because it was like the a version 2, had extra characters and things like that in, and that it was better to get it on the Switch as well because I think there was some censorship on the PS4 version. So yeah, I decided to pick it up. It was on my list to get anyway, and yeah, I did have the Scarlet Edition in my wish list on PlayAsia, but because of people saying that it was better to get the Switch version, that's why I picked that up. So I paid £59 and 7p for that. Looking it up online, they go for about £70 on eBay. Obviously, for now, I am going to keep it sealed because I have got the PS4 version to play if I want. And then the other game that we got was a PS5 game, and that is River City Girls 1 and 2. So this was a game that I'd seen quite a few other YouTubers pick up, and yeah, it looked really interesting. And I have to say, after playing it, I absolutely loved it. It is, best way to describe it is it's a retro arcade beat 'em up. So it's got that sort of art style, that sort of feeling, and yeah, just absolutely loved it. So far I've only played probably about 20 minutes, half an hour of the first game. I haven't played the second one at all yet, but yeah, really enjoyed it. It's definitely one that I'm going to go back to, and yeah, it'll probably become one of my sort of chill out plays more than anything. So that one we paid £43 for. And it goes for about £50 on eBay. I think the eBay price might even be the sealed price because obviously it was brand new before I played it. Then moving on, we are going to be moving on to another store display. So yeah, I have got a bit of an addiction at the moment to picking up store displays. It's always something I've been interested in, but never really sort of dived into it until it was about 6-8 weeks ago when I had the massive bundles of Pokemon store displays that I got off Dan. Well, that train just kept on rolling, and whenever I see any, I've got eBay searches now looking out for store displays, and when this one come up, I just had to grab it. And that is a Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom shelf topper. I'm assuming it's a shelf topper. Yeah, this was, I absolutely loved this when I first saw it. I will say the pictures on eBay made it look a bit better than what it is. It's got a couple of sort of crease marks and things like that, but in general it's in relatively good condition. And for the price, I definitely wasn't going to leave it. So on average, looking these up on eBay, they've been selling for around £70. But for some reason, this seller had an absolute bargain, and he had it listed for £26.99. So yeah, as soon as I saw it, I immediately grabbed it, and yeah, was really glad to actually have it arrive. Once again, I don't know where I'm going to put all my store displays because I am struggling for space in the games room as it is, without trying to fit stuff like that in as well. I think what I might actually do is evict the little one and convert their room into sort of the games room 2.0. So next up, we have got a PS1 pickup, and this is a follow-on from a couple of games that we got in the last random pickups video. And that is a copy of Biohazard 2 on the PS1. So this is the Japanese release of Resident Evil 2. And the reason that I picked this up is because we obviously picked up Resident Evil 1, or Biohazard 1 and 3. So I wanted to get the second one just so we had the complete set. And yeah, really, really happy with this. It comes complete. It's got everything in there, which is really, really good. I have to say, probably not the best seller that I've dealt with. I think it was really delayed, like well over a week. So I sent them a message saying, if you've got any idea, if you've got a tracking number for it or anything like that, just so that I can keep an eye on when it's coming. Oh, it doesn't have tracking, don't ask me stupid questions, blah, blah, blah. And it's really unnecessarily aggressive. But yeah, I just left him to it. The game did finally arrive, thankfully, and it was in good condition. So yeah, really happy to have that in the collection. Once again, just like Resident Evil 1 and 2, well, sorry, Biohazard 1 and 3, it is completely in English. It just has Japanese subtitles at the bottom. So if you're looking to try and get hold of those games and don't necessarily want to pay the full price PAL, then that's potentially an option. Obviously, you will need either a Japanese PS1 or a chipped PS1. I'm quite lucky where my my PS1, so like the PS1 Slim, I got chipped when I was younger. I won't say why I got it chipped, but it's chipped. So anything Japanese, I can just put in straight away and it plays without a problem. So Biohazard 2, as I say, that is complete. It comes with a set of stickers as well, which is really good. £9.50 I paid for that. Normally the PAL version would go for about £30. So yeah, really, really happy to have that in. Then the next game I got. Now this was another game that I've been wanting to play because I've actually got, we recently picked up the sequel on the PS1. I think I got it at CEX, and I've been wanting to pick up the first one, but the first one is once again, I've got the Japanese version, but the first one wasn't released in PAL. It was released in the US, but at the US price, it's around £100 at the moment, sort of complete in box. And that was Paradise Eve. Now, I picked up the Japanese version, a bit of a Hail Mary pass, I'd probably say, because I was hoping that this would be a bit like the Resident Evils, where it would play in English with Japanese subtitles. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but even still, it is a copy of Paradise Eve. I am happy to have it in the collection, and yeah, I am going to look to seek out the American version, because it is a game that I would like to play through. Just from the bit of the second one that I've played, I really, really want to play it. So yeah, we've got that for the collection. I paid... Well, that was obviously cut a bit short. Sorry about that. Didn't realise that the battery was running low on my camera. So yes, top quality YouTubing at its best. So I'm not too sure where we got up to, but yeah, for Paradise Eve, I paid £26. And the reason that I paid £26 was that it also come with the strategy guide. Now, the strategy guide is all in Japan. I will admit it's got some absolutely brilliant artwork in there, but I can't actually read it. So the game itself normally goes for about £25, and then the strategy guide can go for about £20 as well. So total price of about £45. I thought £26 wasn't too unreasonable. And actually, I think this as well, the Paradise Eve set there, actually come from one of the guys that I bought one of the other Biohazard games from. I think it might have been Biohazard 3, was the same seller that I got those off of. He actually sent me a really good offer on it. Right, next up, we've got a Xbox One game. And I will say ahead of time, there is no footage for this one. Because this is the next edition of the Dark Pictures anthology. This is House of Ashes, And yeah, as I've said previously, what I want to do is I want to actually be able to sit down and go through all these games as a fresh. So yeah, there's one more after this that I need to get, but at the moment it's still fairly new, so I'm probably going to hold off a bit. But yeah, I want to basically play them through in order. I don't know if they need to be played through in order, but that's just what I want to do. So yeah, I managed to pick this one up. This one I actually got this one from eBay. So I paid a total of £10.09 for that. It goes for £10 at CEX and normally about £11 on eBay. Then we've got right, so I'm going to carry on with my watch addiction as well. So we've managed to get hold of another one of the Nintendo gaming watches, and this time we have got the Zelda watch. So this was the next one in the little collection that I was looking to get hold of. I think the next one that I'm after is going to be the Tetris one. So at the moment we've got the Super Mario 3 and the Star Fox one. We've now got the Zelda one. I actually got really lucky with this one because the seller had listed it as untested. And when it arrived, I put a battery in and it just worked straight away. So that was an absolutely amazing pickup there. We paid £52.29. If I remember rightly, I think it actually did come over from the US as well. A bit like the Star Fox watch. And looking it up online, this is the most expensive one that we've got so far in the collection. This one normally sells for about £150. So yeah, really chuffed with that. Absolutely amazing pickup. And as I say, the next one on the hit list is going to be the Tetris watch. Then we move on to so we've got a couple of PS5 games next. And the first one that we've got is Tormented Souls. Now, I've played this I played it for about half an hour and I was capturing footage for the video. From what I've played of it, it is superb. It's got some very dark story elements that some people might not be comfortable with. But I will admit, the actual gameplay is literally, as soon as you're playing it, the first thing you're thinking of is Resident Evil. It is literally play for play, controller control. The controls, looks, feels just like the original Resident Evil. Probably the Resident Evil remake is probably the closest that I can think of to this. Very dark atmospheres, and yeah, just really engaging. It is definitely a game that I am going to look to just spend a couple of days and just blitz through it when I get the time. It is absolutely amazing, really is. And I will say it is at a bargain price at the moment. It's been out for a while, but yeah, I picked it up for £14.65 off Amazon. It goes for about £18 at CEX, £20 on eBay. But yeah, if you've got a PS5 and you haven't got this, highly recommend picking this up. I'd probably say, bar one other game, possibly two other games, this is definitely the top pick for today's video. Then next up, we've actually got, next one is actually a PS4 game, not a PS5, and that is Gear Shifters. So this is I can't remember where I first saw this game, but I know I saw it somewhere other than Amazon, which is where I got this one. And basically what this is a car-based shooter. So whole idea is probably a bit more of a lighter version of Carmageddon. Not as violent, there's no zombies or anything like that. It's literally just you against the other racers. But yeah, really, oh no, actually, scratch that, I completely forget. So yeah, it is a driving shooter, but it's top down. I was getting it confused with another one that we've picked up recently. But yeah, what game am I thinking of? I can't remember. I know it's one of the games that we've got recently. But yeah, so this is like a top down, and you've got to make your way through sort of a post-apocalyptic, I think it's North America. And yeah, you've got various other vehicles trying to sort of destroy you, where you've basically, what you are is you're a courier, and you've got to deliver this load across country. And yeah, just really, really enjoyable game, something completely different for the genre. And yeah, an absolutely amazing game to play. I thoroughly enjoyed playing that one. So Gear Shifters, we paid £13 and 14p off Amazon. Goes for £12 on CEX and £30 on eBay. And right, this next one, it was another game that when it first came out, I sort of scoffed at. I was a bit like, who would want to play that? That seems like the most boring thing on the planet. Then it dropped on PS Plus, and I was like, do you know what, I'm going to give it a go. And I loved it. It was so relaxing. And that is Power Wash Simulator. So yeah, I just couldn't believe how relaxing it is. You're literally there, you are essentially just cleaning up dirt and grime from everything. It's probably the sort of thing that if your wife saw you play it, she would literally rip you a new one. As the why can you do this virtually, but you can't do it in the garden right now? That's why I don't let the wife ever see me play it. But yeah, it's so relaxing. It's one of those games where it's really good to put in if you've had a really bad day. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. So that one again, come from Amazon, got it for £14 and 95p. Goes for £18 at CEX and £20 on eBay. The next game we've got is actually a pickup from Limited Run, and that is Shantae and the Pirate Curse on the 3DS. So yeah, I absolutely love the Shantae games. Whenever I can, I'll always pick them up. I will say, I think I've just done an order, just done a pre-order for an up-and-coming Shantae game, and I've actually got the special edition. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that when it comes. But yeah, I got an email to say that they were releasing this. Sort of got on and ordered it as soon as I could. Paid £37.71p. Obviously that's after conversion. Couldn't find obviously wouldn't find the CEX price because it's a US game. And at the time when I put the list together, I could only find NTSC-J copies on eBay, and they were going for £95. So yeah, a really good pickup. It's actually one that I'm going to probably keep sealed for now, because if I want to play it, I can probably just emulate it on the PC. Right, so moving on, we've got a fair few, and I'm just looking at the time now, so I'm going to try and sort of rattle through these next ones a bit quicker. Next up, we've got a controller. So for those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I've got an affinity for picking up controller variations for the different consoles that I collect for. And this is one that I have been wanting to pick up for so long now. And yeah, I finally found it for a relatively decent price. And that is the original NES Dogbone controller, as it's called. So you can see why it's called Dogbone, because it's shaped like a dog bone. But I think it's more in line with the sort of SNES controller. And I would say for me, it's a bit more comfortable to play the NES with this than it is with the original NES controller. So yeah, I am thoroughly looking forward to be able to play my NES games on this now. So this one I got it off eBay, paid £18 for it. Wasn't listed at CEX, and it normally goes for about £30 on eBay. Dogbone controllers are quite sort of sought after. I think, if I remember rightly, they actually come with the NES top loader, which wasn't released in the UK. And I think they were only sort of Japan and US. It is a console that I do want to get at some point. Right, next up we've got a Wii U game, and this is a upgrade for a game we've already got in the collection. And that is the complete edition of Super Mario Maker. So with this, we've got the game, we've got the art book, but I wanted it in the box, literally complete as it should come. So yeah, it's been one that I've sort of had in my wish list for a while and finally got to add it in. Paid £7.48 for it. CEX price is £5, but that is just for the disc. So just like that, doesn't include the book and the outer box. And normally it goes for about £11 on eBay, so got a couple of quid cheaper, which is good. Then next up, our next pickup actually did come from CEX, so this was one that I actually ordered online, purely because it was so much cheaper to buy it at CEX, even with paying the is it £2.95, £3.95 shipping, and that is Guilty Gears 2 Overture on the Xbox 360. So yeah, this was another game I'd seen people talking about it, and decided just to have a go and pick it up. And yeah, once again, it was another game. I really enjoyed it. So far, I've only really played the tutorial stage. I haven't got into the main game itself. But yeah, it's definitely a game I'm going to pay a bit more attention to and put a bit more time in. Yeah, it's essentially it's a sort of hack and slash type game, but with a bit more strategy to it. So yeah, really enjoyed picking that one up. So paid £12.95 from CEX. The eBay price for them it is £25 at the moment. So yeah, half the price, and that is with shipping as well. So yeah, really chuffed with that. It is complete. It does have all the manual and everything like that in as well. Okay, so next up we've got a couple of Switch games, and this first one is one that I actually got given by a friend. It's still brand new and sealed. He's never played it, but yeah, he I can't even remember what excuse he gave me, but I mean, he was too just didn't want his missus to see him play it. I'll be honest, I've not captured any footage for this because I've looked it up on eBay and I just don't think, looked it up on YouTube, and I just don't think I'm going to get away with putting it on the channel. And that is Block Knockers. And yeah, it is as wrong as it sounds. So what it is it's a puzzle game where you push blocks across the screen, and when you get sort of a group of 3 or more, it reveals a picture underneath. Well, that picture underneath can be a bit spicy at some points. So yeah, that is the reason for not capturing any gameplay. I think that there is some options to censor it and things like that, but I thought I'll err on the side of caution with this one. So this is, I believe this is a special edition, which comes with a couple of extras. Yeah, comes with exclusive images not seen in the digital version, so that's within the game, and then the original soundtrack CD. So yeah, it'll be one that I'll try at some point, probably when I'm in the house on my own. So looking it up online, it goes for about £22 at CEX and £35 on eBay. So yeah, not too bad there. Then the next up is one that I've been dying to show off. I haven't even opened it because I was hoping to do an open on the video, but looking at the time of the video, I might not be able to fit it in. If I can, I will put in me opening it up, because it is a special edition that I wasn't intending on getting. And this is from Strictly Limited, and that is Death Smiles 1 and 2 on the Switch. Now, the reason that says I wasn't anticipating getting the special edition was because I was just going to get it on the PS4. But by the time I went to order it from Strictly Limited, it was completely sold out. And the only copy they had was the Switch special edition. So I was like, I want to play it, so I don't care, I'll grab that. And I think when I looked, it was probably about £30 difference between what the PS4 version on eBay was selling for compared to what this was selling for. So yeah, I just sort of dived in. I think the big problem I've got is it won't fit on my Switch shelf. I think the box is too tall. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do there. But yeah, as you can see, I haven't opened it yet because, as I say, I was intending on doing it on the video, but I'm just looking at the time of the video now and I don't really want it going on for too much longer. So I paid £90 and 25p for this. Couldn't find it listed at CEX, but on eBay this is currently going for about £120. So yeah, even if I was, as soon as it arrived, I was to stick it on eBay, I would have made a profit on it, but that is not the aim. So yeah, really looking forward to playing that. It's definitely been one that I've been wanting to get to. Then we've got the last game for today, and that is another PS5 game. And this is a game that I think I originally played it through Xbox Game Pass and absolutely loved it. I was playing it for a good 4 or 5 hours. And that is Ghostwire Tokyo. So this is one that I have had on my list to pick up since it was first released. And then yeah, once I saw it on the Games Pass, I decided to jump in and have a go at it. Really enjoyed it. So I wanted to pick up a physical copy. Managed to get hold of it on the PS5, which was the platform that I wanted to get it on. Managed to pick it up for, it's actually an auction I got this for, and it was £15 and 50p. Goes for £18 at CEX and £20 on eBay. So yeah, really chuffed with that. And as I say, an absolutely brilliant game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And then the last pickup for today is going to be another check mark for this year's channel aims, and that is going to be another console box. And it is an N64 console box. So this is complete. It's got all of the inserts inside, all of the bags, everything. So we are good to go with this one. What I'm actually going to do is I've got my N64 that I've got on my sort of console shelf there. That is the one that I'm going to be putting in here, because that one is my original N64. Still has the original not expansion card, but the card in there, and it's actually got the original sticker over it to say that it's never been removed. So what I'm going to do is I want to take that out, put it in the box, and then move my normal the normal N64 that I used onto the shelf, which has got the expansion card in it. But yeah, really chuffed to have this one in the collection. This one has ticked off the top 3 that I was after, which was the NES, the SNES, and the N64. We've also then got the GameCube, the Donkey Kong GameCube one as well. We've got so many new boxes for the collection, but once again I am just struggling as to sort of where to put them. I don't really want to just stack them up in the corner with sort of the end bit sticking out. I really want them on display. But yeah, I'm going to have a look over the next couple of months and see what I can do with those. So for the N64 box, we paid £39 and 95p for. Once again, that was one I'd had a search set up on eBay for that. Got the alert that come through, and then yeah, just grabbed it as soon as I could. Normally they go for about £60 as well. So yeah, really chuffed with that, and the box overall is in really good condition, bar some sun fading on this side. Other than that, all of the artwork is in really good, really bright condition. So yeah, really happy with that. And yeah, that is going to wrap it up for today. So yeah, some absolutely brilliant pickups, some good rare pickups. And yeah, just some bits that I wasn't expecting to pick up as well. So really happy with everything that we've managed to add today. So before we wrap up, we'll quickly run through the totals. So if we picked everything up, no sorry, we paid £520 and 31p for everything that we picked up. If we picked up everything we could from CEX, which I'll be honest wasn't a lot, it would have cost us £121. And then if we picked everything up from eBay, we'd be looking at a £1,236 and 50p total. So yeah, some absolutely amazing pickups. Really chuffed with what we've got, and really looking forward to getting them into the collection and actually spending some time with some of these games as well, because There are some real heavy hitters there that I've been really looking forward to playing. So yeah, that is going to wrap up today's video. But before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you on the next one. Alright, bye.